The story begins with a boy named Jack who spends Christmas Eve with his family. Because he grows up thinking logically, he does not believe in the mythical version of Santa, who is described as flying in a sleigh and delivering gifts across the world. 30 years later, Jack becomes an adult working as a payment collector with unusual skills. One day, Jack starts handling a task given by his client. He quietly ignites a small fire to steal an identity card from a geological agency employee. With that card, Jack can enter a seismic monitoring room. After placing a fire extinguisher device inside the room's system, he leaves without drawing attention from the staff. As Christmas Eve approaches, a man named Santa, known as Red, works as a Santa actor and is accompanied by his guardian, Call. After finishing their duties, Call escorts Santa to a military facility. There, Santa prepares his large launch vehicle, pulled by an oversized Russian reindeer. Once everything is ready, Santa launches toward a certain location. The giant reindeer turns out to be able to fly, confirming that Santa is truly a mythical figure. Shortly after, Santa enters the Northern Cape area and approaches a complex belonging to an organization called Mora. At this place, it becomes clear that some members of Mora are not human, showing that the organization is far from ordinary. Santa and Call then talk about their future. Santa wants to keep fulfilling his role as a giver of Christmas gifts, even though the list grows smaller because more people behave poorly. Call, however, plans to retire after this Christmas because he is tired of facing the rising number of immoral humans. After their conversation ends, Call patrols around Mora. While outside, he notices a power outage in Santa's room. When he checks it, he is shocked to find Santa missing. Within moments, Call spotted a vehicle rushing out of the Mora complex, moving far too fast to be a routine departure. Only then did he realize it was the getaway transport used by Santa's abductors. Without hesitation, Call sprinted into pursuit, fueled by urgency and loyalty. Yet despite pushing himself beyond his limits, he couldn't close the distance. The chase ended in frustration as the kidnappers lifted off in a plane, vanishing into the night sky before he could intervene. Santa's sudden disappearance sent a wave of panic through the entire Mora facility. Especially for the director Zoe, with Christmas just 24 hours away, the pressure intensified. Children everywhere were already anticipating Santa's annual journey. During the emergency briefing, Call explained that several individuals were involved in the abduction, while Zoe suspected the incident was connected to the earlier breach in the seismic monitoring chamber. From the investigation results, Mora identified the suspect as Wolf Samarin, a man hiding behind multiple respectable professions. Zoe added that Wolf's status as one of the world's most skilled lawyers easily enabled him to uncover the Northern Dome where Mora secretly operated. His ability to slip through systems made him even more dangerous. Hours later, Jack was suddenly attacked by an armed group of unknown assailants. Although he managed to hold them off at first, he was eventually overwhelmed and taken directly to Zoe. At that point, Zoe presented evidence confirming that Jack was, in fact, Wolf, leaving him no way to deny the truth. The group that had attacked him was revealed to be Mora own agents, sent to apprehend him. Zoe escorted Jack to Mora Central Headquarters, explaining the real purpose of the organization, a specialized military division responsible for protecting, maintaining, and concealing mythological beings from the public. Santa, known as Red, was one of the mythological subjects under their protection due to the immense historical power he carried. Hearing this, Jack's skepticism began to crumble. The mythological concepts he once considered childish tales suddenly became undeniable reality. Determined not to be blamed for something unintended, Jack clarified his involvement in the seismic monitoring breach, hoping to prevent further misunderstanding and prove he wasn't acting with malicious intent. Jack eventually confirmed that he had located the hidden Mora base during his earlier investigation. He also admitted selling that information to an anonymous buyer, never imagining it would be used to orchestrate Santa's abduction. Jack claimed he had no idea who purchased the intel since the entire transaction was handled indirectly and through encrypted intermediaries. Wanting to fix the damage and motivated by Zoe's offer to double his payment, Jack agreed to assist in Santa's rescue. Cole and Jack quickly prepared their plan. As the first step, Cole used his magic to transform a small toy car into a fully functional vehicle. With their newly created ride, the two set out to track down the middleman known as Ted. During the trip, Cole explained that Santa was an irreplaceable figure. Only he possessed the unique abilities needed for his role. Hearing this, Jack finally understood why saving Santa mattered far beyond personal interest. When they reached Ted's suspected location, Call cleared away a group of thugs using one of his enchanted tools. Shortly after, out of fear, Ted refused to reveal the buyer's identity directly, but he hinted at the name in a coded manner, Grilla. The moment Jack spoke the name aloud, Grilla instantly sensed the betrayal despite the distance between them. Grilla then absorbed Ted's body to communicate directly with Cole. Through this eerie projection, the truth surfaced. Grilla was the mastermind behind Santa's abduction and was currently holding him captive. Cole reacted with grim recognition. He had long known who Grilla truly was, a rogue Christmas sorcerer, centuries old, and feared for his unpredictable power. Before the connection faded, Grilla issued a chilling vow. He planned to use Santa as a tool to punish every misbehaving child in the world. Not long after, Cole and Jack found themselves ambushed by a terrifying creature, a snowman monster sent by Grilla to eliminate them. The beast's strength was overwhelming, and its ability to regenerate made every strike nearly useless. Each time they thought they had injured it, the creature simply rebuilt itself, forcing the two into a desperate retreat. When they were cornered, Cole noticed the strange portal embedded in the monster's nose. With one swift move, he tore it out, causing the creature to collapse and dissolve into a violent flurry of snow. At the same moment, Jack managed to destroy another monster's portal with a well-timed blow, dispersing the second snowman instantly. Knowing the weakness, they quickly took down the last creature with little resistance. Unfortunately, their only source of information. Ted had frozen solid during the attack, leaving them without any clues about Santa or Grilla's location. If Santa wasn't recovered before the countdown expired, Christmas itself would be lost for the entire world. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Cole racked his brain for options until he remembered one possible lead: Krampus, a figure intertwined with both Santa and Grilla. During their journey to Krampus's territory, Jack opened up about his personal life. He admitted feeling inadequate as a father to his son Dylan, especially since Dylan's mother had remarried a kind, stable man. Jack feared his criminal background made him unworthy, and that insecurity had slowly pushed him away from his own child. When they finally reached Krampus's domain, Cole warned Jack not to touch anything, knowing the place was filled with enchanted objects. But moments later, their presence was discovered. A distraction created by one of Cole's magical tools failed to keep them hidden for long. The Krampus guards appeared and instantly captured them, especially after realizing that Jack had secretly stolen some of Krampus's gold. With Cole's magical device snatched away by a mischievous Krampus child, they were powerless and thrown into a holding cell. There tensions rose, and the two argued over Jack's impulsive theft. Yet despite his frustration, Cole admitted he wasn't truly disappointed. He simply never expected much from someone who carried as many burdens as Jack. A short while later, Cole and Jack were dragged before Krampus. Only then did they learn the truth. Krampus was once Santa's brother-in-law, a trusted ally who helped map out the children destined to receive gifts. But everything changed when Krampus crafted his own list, one filled with misbehaving children he believed deserved punishment. Santa rejected the idea, and their constant clashes slowly fractured their bond until both stood on opposite sides, no longer family but sworn enemies. After the fallout, Krampus eventually aligned himself with Grilla, whose twisted mission matched his own, punishing every naughty child across the world. Trying one last time to reach whatever goodness remained, Cole pleaded with Krampus to help rescue Santa. He insisted that Santa never fully gave up hope, that Krampus still had a chance to redeem himself. But Krampus dismissed the plea coldly and claimed he no longer worked with Grilla anyway, as their partnership had broken apart. Before the tension could erupt, Jack suddenly formed a risky plan. With clever persuasion, he provoked Krampus into challenging Cole to a duel. Krampus accepted, but with harsh terms. If Cole lost, both he and Jack would become Krampus's loyal servants forever. If Cole somehow won, they would be allowed to leave unharmed. The duel began with a brutal imbalance. Cole's punches barely made Krampus flinch, while a single strike from Krampus sent Cole sprawling to the ground. Just when Cole braced for another blow, Jack stealthily slipped the magic tool back into Call's hand. Empowered, Call delivered a powerful hit that finally stunned Krampus and snapped him back to his senses. At that time, Call immediately used his tool to create two creatures that provoked chaos. After eliminating the children of the Krampus fruit who tried to prevent it, Call and Jack immediately came out of the headquarters until they finally managed to escape. In the middle of the journey to continue the mission, Call and Jack found a snow globe sent by Grilla. Cole then forbade Jack to touch the globe for his safety. Not long after, Dylan contacted Jack via video call and showed that he had received a gift, which was actually a snow globe from Grilla. Without knowing the effect, Dylan touched the globe and immediately disappeared. Seeing this incident, Jack finally did the same thing with the hope that he could find Dylan. Now, Jack and Dylan were trapped in the snow globe because they had touched it. After that, Grilla took the time to check on Jack and Dylan. At this moment, Grilla felt happy because he managed to create a globe that could entice the human who touched him. Well, it turned out that this globe was what would benefit Grilla in punishing every naughty child in the world. When Grilla had left the location, Jack and Dylan could finally talk from heart to heart. After telling the story of his involvement in the mission of saving Santa, Jack emphasized that from now on, he will try to be a better father. Jack's confession also made Dylan lose his emotions and negative thoughts towards his father. Thanks to this moment, Jack and Dylan could become better individuals. So the snow globe broke by itself, and they returned to their condition as before. Meanwhile, Call now continued his mission with Zoe. Utilizing the tracking device installed on Jack's body, Call performed an analysis and successfully uncovered several critical facts. It was revealed that Jack was in Santa's production facility, located within the Mora complex. Furthermore, Santa was actually being held captive inside his own facility, which had now been taken over by Grilla's followers who possessed the ability to transform into Mora agents. In short, Call finally managed to find Jack and Dylan at Santa's production facility. Unfortunately, Santa had already been taken away by Grilla to another location prior to their arrival. Following this, Call and his friends engaged in a battle against Grilla's followers. After managing to subdue them all, Call and Jack tried to pursue Grilla, who was driving Santa's launch vehicle and aircraft. It was revealed at this moment that Grilla intended to spread all the snow globes using Santa's vehicle, while also carrying Santa, who was unconscious because his powers had been drained. Grilla needed Santa because the vehicle could only be operated if Santa was on board. Through a full-effort struggle, Jack managed to detach the sleigh from the launch vehicle, preventing Grilla from taking flight and spreading the globes. Jack's action caused the train to slide, making Grilla fall from a very high flying platform. When Call was convinced that Grilla was dead, the sorcerer was shocked. Grilla suddenly reappeared in his original form as a wizard. Not long after, Krampus arrived to help Call fight Grilla, signaling that Krampus had changed his mind and wanted to assist in Santa's rescue mission. Krampus then confessed that Grilla was his ex-partner before he fought with Call and Jack. Although the three of them were already battered, Grilla remained difficult to defeat. In the midst of this situation, Santa was jolted. He finally regained consciousness and immediately summoned all his monsters to subdue Grilla. As a result of the pounding attack from Santa's monsters, Grilla finally fell into his own snow globe, becoming trapped inside. After Grilla was successfully stopped, Santa immediately rushed to use his vehicle to carry out the mission of delivering Christmas gifts to children all over the world. Jack and Dylan received a rare opportunity. They were able to witness the immediate action of Santa, who has always been accustomed to giving gifts on Christmas Eve without being seen by humans. As the mission went on, Santa showed that he could still move very smoothly despite his old age. Because of this, Santa managed to complete his mission just before Christmas. The next morning, the children felt happy because they had received Christmas gifts from Santa. Following this, Jack and Dylan both expressed their admiration for Santa's actions, finally allowing their father-son relationship to become close. In the middle of this heartwarming moment, Santa could see the inner child in Jack's spirit surge due to his admiration for Santa's action. Seeing this perspective as a source of energy for Santa, he finally canceled his retirement plan and decided to remain the true guardian of Santa. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next epic story. See you in the next video.